Hello students, welcome to SATE Group of Education. Already we learn the chapters of history and political science in your curriculum. In this video, by this lecture, we are going to revise the two lessons or the two chapters of history. That is chapter 1, Historiography Development in the West, and second, Indian Historiography. So, first of all, I have to tell you that what is meant by history, we already learned in standard 6. History is a coherent account of significant events in the past. Means while we are studying the history, there is the correlation of history with other events and with some important aspects of human life, isn't it? So, history and geography, these two subjects are two sides of one coin, we can say that. So, in this video, already I told that we are discussing about the two chapters, means the key points. So, we'll start with the help of the following points, the revision of chapter first. See, chapter first, Historiography Development in the West. First of all, we have to familiar about the word historiography. I written the important point of the historiography. See, writing of critical historical narrative is known as historiography. It means for a historian, it is very important to understand all the aspects, to understand the history of a particular individual person or the history of place or history of other things. So here, see, history, it is related to study of writing history and of written histories. Means in the history, the written narratives as well as the written some important events. So study about those narratives, study about those important phenomena or important events are very important things in this history. So history, while understanding this historical research method, some important aspects are there. I think by your textbook you have been studied about the chart is related to the historical research method. History is also a kind of a science, but it is not a kind of a science like other physical sciences. See, in the science, lot of branches are there, whether the chemistry, biology, or the zoology, botany, and many other subjects. In history, the events can't recreate, can't repeat again and again. Historical methods are not observed, are not studied in the any kind of a experiment, means any kind of a experimentation or with the help of laboratory. So see, some important key points we are going to discuss this. Criteria for authentication of historical documents. See, whatever historical documents, records or the artifacts or the books which are kept in the archives, library and museum respectively. So while understanding the historical documents, some important criteria, very important. So see, as I told that criteria, here criteria means rules. Criteria for authentication, exactness of historical documents. For a historian, it is necessary to understand about lettering style, means suppose Modi script, Brahmi script, Sumerian script, like that way, lettering style. Then author style of writing, how a book was written by an author, in which means what type of style he used by his book or in his book. Then manufacturing date and time of paper. It means whatever the artifact, whatever the material kept in the archive, library or museum. So manufacturing the date and the type of the paper, means on where it is written or the documents. Next we have disciplines in historical research. Here we are considering discipline means branches. See, while preparing historiography or preparing historical research method, some branches are there. So it is said that disciplines in historical research, that is archaeology, it is study about the artifacts, means whatever present in the inside of the land by digging out the land. So researcher or the government, they are obtaining some artifacts and study of those artifacts called archaeology. Next we have manuscriptology, means the study of manuscript or the handwritten. Next we have linguistics, the study of many languages, you know, the Arabic, then Persian, Sanskrit, Maharashtrian Prakrit. So the study of these kinds of many languages by the historians. Next we have genealogy. It is related to the study of generation or the lineage. Next we have characteristics of modern historiography. See, for the board exam, this question will be asked for 3 marks. You can say characteristics or the features of modern historiography. First of all, A, based on scientific principle. Means modern historiography is based on scientific principles. Already I told you that whatever the events, phenomena which are related to the history, we can't recreate again, means those events, and whatever the experimentation and observation related to the other science subjects, it is totally different of history. Means some important systems, some important aspects or some important concepts are taken by historians about understanding the artifacts. So example, carbon 14 Libby or 14 carbon Libby for analyzing something or artifact. So based on scientific principles, means modern historiography. Next we have B, anthropocentric questions, means the questions are related to the human development or the aspects, means human life and the aspects related to human life. So anthropocentric questions are raised. C, answers supported by reliable evidences. How we are understanding about the history, about the historical narratives, as well as about the events or the phenomena which happen in the past period. About the evidences, means in the history, evidences are playing a very crucial or the vital role understanding the history for the historian. Next we have graph of mankind's journey. I think in 5th standard we studied about the evolution of mankind. Charles Darwin stated the theory of evolution. We studied in 5th standard. Homo sapien, Homo sapiens sapien, then how the invention of wheel, how the invention of agriculture. So by the history, we are understanding the graph related to mankind's journey or the voyage. It means how man started his journey from ancient up to the, or from, you can consider from prehistoric or ancient up to yet in the modern. Next we have notable scholars in historiography or in Europe. It means some important historians, they give contribution about writing history, means about how to write history in the proper form. So some historians accepted some important principles which given important these principles by these historiography or by these historiographers or by their books. So notable scholars in Europe. This question will ask for 2 marks in the concept chart for board exam. So see, first of all, René Descartes. See, a European scholar, René Descartes, according to him, verifying the reliability of historical document by critical examining, means he was giving, he gave importance while writing history. It is very important that verifying the reliability of historical documents by critical examining, means critical examining is very important, critical analysis is very important according to him. So he wrote a book that is Discourse on the Method. Next we have second, Voltaire. He was a French philosopher, he was a French scholar. So he was also known as founder of modern historiography. So according to him, it is very important that understanding all aspects of human life. History is not about kings, history is not about emperor, history is not about kings, history is not about the dynasties, but While writing history, it is also important to give preference to trade, economy, politics or the social life during that period. So Voltaire. Next we have George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. See, two important books he was written. A. Encyclopedia of Philosophical Sciences and another is B. Reason in History. In the first book, whatever speeches he gave, all those speeches, all those narrations are compiled in the first book. That is Encyclopedia of Philosophical Sciences. And the second is Reason in History. According to him, timeline of historical events are very important. It means while writing the history, while understanding the history, and while writing the history for a historian, it is very important to understand the timeline of historical events. Next we have dialectics, method of analysis based on opposites. It means what is this dialectics? This question will be asked for board exam, 2 marks. What is meant by dialectics? See, mainly in the dialectics, the method of analysis based on opposites means while looking to any particular event, it is very important to see the both aspect: true, false, wrong, right, negative, positive. It means according to Professor Hegel, it is very important about while understanding any phenomenon, any event, give importance to the two aspects. So that is called dialectics. Next we have Leopold von Ranke, the theory and practice of history and the secret of world history. It means whatever the important principles about historiography by these two books we can understand of Leopold von Ranke. See, according to him, what was very important for writing a history? Information gathered through original documents. Means while writing history for a historian, it is very important to collecting the information with the help of true and original documents and to reach the historical truth. It means come to conclusion with the historical truth or on the historical truth. Next we have Karl Marx. His book is very important, known as Das Kapital or Communist Manifesto also. So according to Karl Marx, what is important in the writing history? See, human history is a history of class struggles. It means human history is related to the class struggles, as the class that owns the means of production economically exploits the rest. Means of production is in the hands of the owners and they totally exploited or harass to the rest of the strata or society community in the society. So whatever his important principles written in the book of Das Kapital. Next is Michel Foucault, or you can say Michel Foucault. See, Archaeology of Knowledge. It was a very important book according to the historians. While writing the history, historians can take the support of this book and write the history. See, the next Annals School, History of Climate, Local People, Agriculture, Trade and Technology. It means while writing history, it is not very much important about the history of king, emperor, queen or any kind of a dynasty, but these aspects are very also important while writing the history for a historian. Which are those? History of climate, means any countries or any region's climate. Then local people of that region or of that country. Then agriculture, means agriculture system or the production or the techniques of that region. Then trade or commercial relation between or among the countries. And the next is technology of any kind of a monument, any kind of a gadget, appliances or like something. So here we completed the revision of chapter 1st. Now we are moving to the revision of chapter 2nd. See, Indian historiography or historiography, Indian traditions, isn't it? So in the first lesson what we discussed about the historiography and the notable scholars in Europe. Here we are looking about the historiography in the context of Indian traditions. Already we are familiar with the word historiography. Now we are moving to the historiography which is related to Indian tradition or culture. So first of all, Indian historiography, which is totally divided in the three aspects, that is ancient, medieval and modern. Already in 6th, 7th and 8th standard we studied about the ancient history of India, then medieval history of India, and then modern history of India. So many historians wrote some important books as well as Upanishads and some important travelogues, biographies, autobiographies, and then we are understanding the history of India in the proper manner. So see, ancient history is related to epic. I think we know in the Hindu religion there are two great epics known as Mahabharata and Ramayana. So Puranas, whatever the knowledge related to ancient period, it is contained in the Puranas. Next we have Jain and Buddhist texts. I think we are familiar that Vardhaman Mahavir founded the Jain religion, and by Gautam Buddha founded the Buddha religion. So here whatever their principles, their teachings, all are contained in the Jain and Buddhist text. Next, biographies. Biographies is related to on a particular person's or individual king or empress life. So that is called biography of kings or empress. Then travelogues. See, in the ancient period, Yuan Chang and Fa Hein, the Chinese traveler, came in India and they wrote their travel experiences by their travelogues. So these things are very important while understanding the ancient history of India here. Next we have medieval history, Arabic and Persian historiography. It means here it is very important to understand the medieval history of India. See, Arabic and Persian historiography is related to mainly by the Mughal or related to the Mughal Empire or Emperor. See, while understanding the medieval history of India, it is very important to give preference about the Arabic and Persian knowledge or Arabic and Persian literature. So, see, some important historians, they contributed writing the history of India related to medieval period. Kalhana wrote Rajtarangini. Next, Al-Biruni, which was also very important historian. Abul Fazl wrote Akbarnama. Then Al-Biruni, as I told. Then Ziauddin Barni. So these some important historians, they contributed for the medieval history of India. Next we have Bakhar, a historical document of Maharashtra. See, Bakhar is a kind of a historical document which was very important during the medieval period of India. See, what is contained into the Bakhar? Stories of historical events or the eulogies of historical events, battles, wars, lives of great men. So these kinds of the events and phenomena are part or included in the Bakhar. Mainly this was an important document related to the state of Maharashtra. See, some examples are related to Bakhar, that is Sabhasad Bakhar, wrote by Krishnaji Ananta Sabhasad. Then Bhausahebanchi Bakhar, that is the history related to Panipat, means the war of Panipat. And then Bhausahebanchi Bakhar, after that Holkaranchi Kaifiyat, it is also related to the empire of Holkar. Then next we have third, modern history, archaeological excavation and research. I think we studied about the ancient, then medieval, and then we came to modern here. What do you understand by the word modern? It means whatever the archaeological excavation or the events or the phenomena which occurred in the modern period. So all those things are included in the modern historiography, isn't it? So he, as I told, archaeological excavation. See, in the period of 1920, in the year of 1920, when there was a railway line work started between Lahore to Multan, so under the leadership of Sir John Marshall, archaeological excavation started and some artifacts obtained, some artifacts got, and then started the emergence of the Harappan and Indus civilization. So here by archaeological excavation we got that in India some other or some ancient civilization were present. So those are related to the archaeological excavation and research related to modern historiography. Next we have various ideological frameworks of historiography. Some important ideological frameworks are present related to Indian historiography. A, colonial. Mainly in the colonial, what is given here, see, history by Britishers and Christian missionaries. It means when in 16th century these Europeans came in India for the sake of trade with Indian merchants. Then after 1857 these colonial powers ruled over India. So some important, these colonial means these philosophers or these British officers and Christian missionaries, they contributed writing the history of Indian culture and Indian tradition. So they justified the British rule in this manner by their books also. Next we have Orientalist. What is meant by Orientalist? See here, study of Vedic and Sanskrit by Europeans. It means mainly in this period by some European scholars, by some European philosophers, they emphasize, they gave importance writing the Indian history in the form of Vedic culture or whatever the study of Sanskrit language. So some important philosophers gave contribution in this way. William Jones, Sir William Jones, who established Asiatic Society in Bengal in Kolkata, and then Max Muller. He also translated Hitopadesha, a Sanskrit text, in other languages. Next we have nationalist or nationalistic historiography. In this nationalistic historiography, what is important, see here, it is the study of golden era in Indian history and ancient Indian culture and the glory of India. Means some aspects related to ancient India, some aspects related to glory of India. So all those compiled, all those are the part of or included in the nationalistic historiography. See, mainly Chipulunkar, then Mahadev Govinda Ranade, then V.D. Savarkar. These 3 to 4 important scholars or historians, they contributed writing nationalistic history of Indian culture and the tradition. Next we have Indian historiography, mainly 3 main ideological schools. Already we seen about the frameworks. Now we are going to see about the 3 main ideological schools. First of all, Marxist. Now we are thinking, what is this Marxist? Marxist, this is based on the Karl Marx principles. Okay. See, Primitive Communism to Slavery by Comrade Dange. Means this is the one most important text which was written by Comrade Sripad Amrut Dange. It was related to the communist philosophy or the philosophical foundation here. Then next, Subaltern, which is having the one most important book, we know that, Gulamgiri, which written by Mahatma Phule. It means mainly by the subaltern. Which important aspect here, see, subaltern means bottommost. It means always it is not important to write the history of topmost. Means, you know, the hierarchy we have, first class, second class, then third class, or the upper class and the lower class. So some historians, they contributed writing the history on the bottommost rank. So in this way, Babasaheb Ambedkar, he also contributed, gave importance to the bottommost rank, and who were the Shudras and the Untouchables. These two important books were written by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, and by Mahatma Phule, Gulamgiri and Shetkaryanचा Asud. Feminist historiography, it is related to the female perspective. It means whatever the aspects are related to the female or related to the women, so all those aspects are included in this feminist historiography. See, mainly Stree Purush Tulna, the book was written by Tarabai Shinde. It was a very important book in the Indian history, which gave importance to the India, means women's situation or women's status in India in this male dominated society. So mainly what is meant by Marxist, see here, Marxist, it is related the study of transition within caste system. As I told, what is meant by Marxist, the study of transition means changes with the caste system. See, mainly Sharad Patil and Comrade Sripad Amrut Dange, these followers, these some important historians or scholars, they contributed for Marxist history. Then subaltern, it is the study of, or it is a history of bottommost ranks. Mahatma Phule and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar contributed for this. Subaltern, mainly subaltern is also a kind of a branch of the Marxist history. Then feminist history, well, writing the history related to the female or related to the perspective of women, some aspects are very important. Employment for women in the society, then education, means right to education or some educational facilities for women, then treatment, the treatment is given to women, then rights for women. Nowadays we are having Dowry Prohibition Act, Act Against Sexual Harassment, isn't it? So whatever the grievances are related to women, those are depicted by the books of some important historians. So one of them, Tarabai Shinde, then Ramabai Ranade, Sharmila Rege, Mirabai Koshambi. So many historians, they just contributed about these three ideological schools. So here we completed the revision of chapter 2nd. I hope you understood. The revision means the key points of the chapter 1st and the 2nd. Thank you.